a while since I posted anything. To be honest, I think I've been going through a rougher depression than I realized. You see, God works in mysterious ways. And it's these things we go through, this depression, this frustration, this questioning things that strengthen our faith. That we get to discover who we are. See, I had an accident. See, for years before my accident, I was always trying to help everybody. Of course, I was. Opening up my home, spending my money on whatever I can to help people. And then the accident happened on September 10th, 2020, where a young man had decided that his life wasn't worth living anymore. And he decided to dress all in black and lay in the road. I got blinded by another car, didn't see him, ran him over, and he died. It wasn't my fault. I just happened to be in the wrong place, wrong time, I guess. The right place, right time. If you look at how God uses things to change us, to mold us. The accident messed me up pretty well. I sat in my car for 6 months, contemplating life, trying to understand how I fit in this world. Confused because I tried to do good all my life. I never really did anything bad. I mean, we've all got a little bad in our life, but I could hold my head high in a sense of the fact that I tried. I didn't have anything tied to me that was going to make people go, oh my gosh, sort of thing. Not really. But then the accident happened, and at that point, I knew that forever in my rest of my life, that I would be tied to that. Nobody wants to be tied to someone else's death, even if it's not their fault. When I became agoraphobe, my health got real bad. I became agoraphobe, afraid to leave my house, afraid to even look outside. I was a shell of a person. The only reason I didn't end things like I would have in the past is because I'd already made a promise to my wife, to my mom, and to my God that I wouldn't do that. But man, I gets tested every day. Some days it gets tested harder than others. I have those thoughts in my head thinking, man, how easy would it be just to turn the wheel a little bit, run into a diesel truck or off the bridge? How easy it would be to just go and do so many different things to end my life. But that's not who I am. That's not. I know the things we go through in life are the things that test our faith, the things that make us who we are, that we find out how strong we are as a person, how much we love God, what kind of person we really are. And it's not easy when life is not easy. Prices go up all the time. You can't afford to do anything. And when your health is so bad you can't even go to job work anywhere because you can't stand up that long. Your breathing got so bad because of COPD. They have this PTSD issue thing about being around people. It doesn't make it easy, And it aggravates me. I'm 47 years old, about to be 48 years old, and I used to be able to do so much. Man, I would go every single day. I would just get out of the house, do something, build something, go somewhere, do something. I loved working. But I got out of the house. I got on TikTok and I got on talking like this, just talking about what's on my mind. And it helped. Just being able to know that someone's listening, anybody's listening, helps. I started making some friends, people who could relate to the things I was going through, the things I was saying. Before I knew it, I had a pretty good support group. I'm not going to go and bore everybody with all the things I did in the group and all that stuff, but there was this couple that I had met that came into our group. My heart went out to them. See, this one girl that was the couple, she was going through stuff hard. She had been beat. She had been mistreated in so many different ways. And in her mind, the only thing that she was good for was her body. And so she would sell herself. She got into doing some crazy things for money. She called me up one day and she says, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. She says, I want more out of life. I'm tired of feeling this way. And I was like, I want to help you, but you got to give it to God. You got to give it to God. You got to put God center in your life. And she tried. She really did. I feel like she tried, or at least done like so many other people have done, and just said, you know what? I've tried everything else. Let me try this. And if it don't work, then I'll go to something else. And you can't go into it with that kind of mentality of thinking, well, I'll try God, and if God don't work. God's on a different timeline than we are. God wants us to be patient. He wants us to trust him. Well, her and her husband, and her daughter, and her son, and her brother, and 7 dogs decided to come to Texas. They were living in a kind of really hard place out where they were in Arizona. And I was trying to help them, calling around different places to see if I could help them find a place to just help them out. Not knowing the full story or anything else, exactly what's going on. But they came to Texas, and I guess they thought that I was going to solve all their problems, which I don't understand how. How can I solve some of them? I can't even take care of myself, pretty much. I can't take care of my vehicle. I mean, I'm surprised. It's only God's will that this vehicle is continuously going for us. It's only God's will that I've been married to my wife for 23 years. It's only God's will the things that we've had in life. I trust God. I love God. I want a stronger relationship with God, something we should all strive for. I came to Texas, though, and because I wasn't able to do, I got the husband a job. I took them to my church. My church gave them food and gave them money. But because they didn't do what they needed to do, because they just had the mentality of wanting it handed to them, I guess, and I didn't hand it to them, it was my fault. I feel like they might have had some demons in them, to be honest with you. And I think we all have different demons inside us, different demons that bring us down, that drive us insane and make us do things that we wouldn't normally do. And I guess them blocking me and treating me the way they did, I've had people in the past turn from me, talk bad about me. But this was the worst. And because it wasn't just about me, because before it was about me, but now they weren't just bad-mouthing me, they were bad-mouthing my God. They were blaming God. And I know people do that all the time, but how did I fail here so much? How did I fail so much? And it's got me worried, honestly. It's got me scared because I'm like, I want to continue to help people. This world is This world is so confusing sometimes. It's so hard to live in. And I know the words. I know the right thing. You don't try to live in the world. Try to live for God. That's easier said than done sometimes. Because I don't know the answers. I don't know the answers. I want to hide in a sense. Study the word and get closer to God, but then I feel like that's being selfish. That's not what God intended. God wants us to go out in the highways and the byways. He wants us to compel them to come in. He wants us to teach them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And I know that, and I want to do that. And I think that God has given me a voice because I've made so many videos, 5,000 more videos of me just talking about my faith. My faith, it may be shaking a little bit sometimes, but it's never gone away. It never goes away. So what's got me down today? What's got me so frustrated besides all that today? Well, let's see. My health is in such bad shape. I can't hardly walk that far without having to stop and sit down. My veins in my legs are so bad that I can't stand up that long. My breathing has gotten so bad. I'm taking so many treatments a day. And so even if I want to, but even if I found a job that I could go get, I can't do it because I can't stand up that long, and nobody wants you to work for them if you can't stand up that long, if you can't breathe that well and everything else. It's not going to last long. My wife and I, we're getting better. I mean, but things are tight money-wise, and it's so sad. It's not. They say money's the root of all evil. It's not. It's the love of money that's the root of all evil. But sadly, in this life, if you don't have money, it's hard to live in this world. It's hard to do the things you need done. We maintain. Thank God. My wife, she works and she brings in the money. Her dad's staying with us now, and we have enough money to pay our bills, to put food in our bellies sometimes, especially if we go to the food banks. I'd love to go get a job delivering pizzas or something like that, and that's not something I want to do. I don't want to drive because of the accident, and it scares me to drive, but I would. But then there's the car. This car would not make it very long if I did delivery. It seems like every option is there, but every option's not good enough, not logically enough, good enough to do. Earlier, I was talking about how I promised I would never do something stupid again. To be completely honest, it's getting harder. It's getting harder to fight that voice, and I know why. Today, I needed this. I needed to come on here and talk, even if nobody else really listened. I see that some people were listening for a while. Seems like every time I've had the opportunity to be able to go live like this and talk, my brain says, no, you're not ready. It's too hard. Because even talking right now, I'm not getting everything out that I need to say. I don't know if it's because I don't want to admit it. I don't know if it's because it's scary to think about. I do know this. I need a closer relationship with God. I need prayer. I need to trust more in God. But see, the thing is I'm married. And it's not just about me, it's about my wife too. She has a hard time opening up to me. She's so set in her ways and certainly different things. Some days I feel like she blames me for my health getting as bad as it has. Some days I think it's easier for her just to blame me for everything, whether it's my fault or not, but it just makes me scared. I love my wife. I don't want to lose her. If she blames me, if she has this negative thoughts, whatever else, because, and it's not that it's my fault. Everything happens like it has, and doing the best we can. God's really been taking care of us. He really has. When things get tough, when things get tight, and things get hard, she runs. She's gotten better over the years where she don't run quite as much, but she runs. Usually that means I'm left behind, struggling, trying to figure out how to even be in this world without her. I couldn't go through that again. I don't want to go through that again. I want to believe that that's not going to happen again. But in the same point, I wouldn't blame her. I mean, I would because, we're supposed to stick together, yada, 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 yada. But I feel so down on myself. I'm 350 pounds, 6 foot tall, 47 years old, COPD, can't stand for very long. I ain't bringing in no money because I'm waiting on my disability. I'm just a waste of space. That's how it feels. When you feel that way, you want the person that you decided to spend your whole life with to lift you up. To let you know everything's going to be okay, that you're going to get through it together, that no matter what the world may bring to us, God has our backs. No matter what the world has to us, we have each other. I just don't know if she feels that same way like I do anymore. And just that thought alone makes me want to do something stupid. Anyway, I rambled on here enough. I know that God has a plan for every one of us. I know that studying the Word, praying and trusting in God, obeying God, keeping in your ear open for that still small voice that says, hey, this is where I need you to go. Everywhere God has sent me, I may not exactly grasp the reason I'm there, but I usually get something out of wherever He's taken me. And as soon as I've learned that lesson, God usually moves me somewhere else. God is amazing. People look at me sometimes and they're like, how do you continuously love God and give God trust and your faith. Look at your life. I mean, you ain't got much money. You're barely surviving. Your health's so bad. Your brother just passed away. I mean, it seems like things are just horrible for you. So how do you keep trusting God and believing God? Because I know God has a plan. I know that everything I'm going through is something to strengthen my faith to trust in Him more. I don't have to always like it. And I know that some of the people, like my daughter, are never going to give me the chance. They're never going to see. At least I feel that way. But I'm realizing more and more it's not about other people and what they see. It's about, I mean, it is, but it's about what God sees. I find myself sometimes with decisions that I have to make that aren't always easy. You know, I have a headlight out on my car right now, and I got pulled over a while back. It's a short and it goes in and out and stuff. I got pulled over a while back by 5 different cops, and I prayed with each and every cop. Nobody gave me a ticket except for that last cop. She's like, you know, 5 other, I think it was a 6th cop. 5 other cops have already pulled you over, and it's been a while. You know, you haven't taken care of it yet, so we got to give you a ticket. Which I was able to go and get that taken care of. The light came on. I went up there, showed them the light was on, and they canceled it. But yeah, last night, or the night before last, I guess I should say, I was on my way home. The headlight was out. The cop pulls me over. And he gives me a ticket for not just the headlight. He gives me a ticket because my address hasn't been changed to the where we're staying at now. The reason it hasn't been changed, and I told him, I said, we're about to move. It doesn't make sense to change my address when we're about to move. And my address on my driver's license is my parents because that's where my mail goes, with my trying to get my disability, things like that, yada, yada, yada. He didn't care. He gave me a ticket for not having that too. I can't afford to maintain this vehicle, to put food in our bellies, things like that, if they keep giving me tickets for stuff that I can't do. We've had people look at there's a short in there. They can't even figure it out themselves. I don't understand it. And to go to somebody that could actually spend some time in there, well, that costs some money. That's something I don't have. My father-in-law says, but just when you drive at night, drive with your brights on. I said, I can't do that. If nobody's in front of me or coming at me or whatever, I can turn the brights on, but I can't. If somebody's coming at me, I'm turning them off. He says, well, they don't ever flash their lights at me saying my lights are too bright. I'm like, I can't do that. I was blinded by someone, didn't see a guy laying in the road, and he died because I was bright lighted and couldn't see anything. You know how horrible I would feel if somebody had an accident or a wreck because I wanted to leave my brights on because it was convenient for me. I'm not going to do something that's convenient for me and inconvenient someone else. It doesn't seem right. Well, anyway, I rambled here enough. I'm going to put this out there. Probably nothing will come of it. If you're listening and happen to watch this video, you can sympathize, you can understand, and God put it on your heart to try to help somehow. Prayers are definitely always welcome. We have a Cash App that I started for my ministry. Bopper's Angels. BOPPERSANGELS? Yeah. Yeah. Or, you know what I mean. Bopper's Angels. you'd like to send a donation to help a little bit, that'd be great. If you're not, well, it's okay too. God will provide one way or the other. I believe that. It gives me peace. It's not my faith in God. It's worrying that my wife just isn't at the right spot and she's going to be so frustrated that I worry about her. Anyways, thank y'all for listening. God bless you. I'm going to get my rambling butt off of here now.